Quick nose check. Clear. Morning guys, and welcome back to the channel. Of course that sort of stuff goes on behind the scenes. I don't want to be filming an introduction with a big Gruber hanging down, do I? These are quite difficult to film these. It takes me a few goes to get my introductions right. Anyway, morning guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I get to play with a brand new release. I can't believe I've started this intro like that. I get to play with a brand new release by Aquatico. If you're not familiar with Aquatico, on the whole, they produce fairly classic looking 300-meter divers. I've said it many times before. I do tend to prefer 200-meter divers. They just sit a little bit flatter on the wrist and they're just on the whole a little bit lighter. But I like this micro brand. They do also tend to price their watches quite high on their website and then offer massive discount codes. I've got a 30% discount code for you guys. It's not an affiliate discount code. It's just a 30% discount code. So yeah, that brings their prices down to a very competitive level. So yeah, I don't think it's a micro brand you can ignore if you like sort of fairly simple, classic looking 300-meter divers. And in this video, I'm going to head over to the light box and show you this watch in all its glory. Right, let's crack on. Now, I don't always show the packaging that watches come in, but on this occasion, I thought it was worth it. The box is quite nice. It's very, very light. I think it's made of bamboo, perhaps. It's not like a quality solid wood, but yeah, I mean, it's nice packaging. I've also said in the past that I don't want super affordable, cheap watches coming in nice packaging because the chances are the manufacturer will have sacrificed some specifications to cover the cost of the packaging. But I don't think that's happening on this occasion. These watches are still $280 US with the 30% off. They're normally $400. And yeah, the specifications are always really, really good when it comes to Aquatico watches. So I don't think they are sacrificing anything on the watch to pay for this box. So yeah, I do appreciate it on this occasion. And I think it's well worth showing you. You get a manual and warranty card. You get well, it says metal on the website. It says metal warranty card. But yeah, it doesn't feel like metal to me. It's got a sort of metal look to some of it, but yeah, that's not metal, I don't think. Anyway, comes with a second strap with a signed buckle on it. Nice. I've resized it. Obviously, I've had this watch out already. I'm producing sort of unboxing shorts for a separate channel. I quite like having fun producing little clips and videos, and yeah, I'm now unboxing watches. I'm sort of silently and producing videos that I then add some music to, and yeah, that's what I've done on this occasion. So I have already unboxed it and I have worn it, and yeah, as I mentioned in the introduction, 300-meter diver, a little bit sort of chunkier and thicker than I tend to prefer. But it is a good looking watch. They offer 5 different color variations. And yeah, at the moment, I've got a thing for white dials. And I also quite like this, well, current trend of producing watches with, well, dive watches in particular, with different colored dials and bezel inserts. And yeah, they've done that. They've also offered some watches with color matching bezels and dials, but yeah, I like this one. I think I chose to have this one actually. I quite often let manufacturers send me whatever, but yeah, I've got a thing for white dials at the moment. I really don't know what it is. I like them, I really do. Now, before I show you the watch in more detail, I'm just going to quickly show you the second strap, and it actually looks quite nice, very soft and supple. And one thing I do like about their website, and I've said this before in videos where I've reviewed their watches, they're obviously watch enthusiasts. I think most people that start watch brands are, and they've gone into an awful lot of detail on their website when it comes to the specifications, and they even stipulate what things like the O-rings are made of. They give you the materials, so yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's move on and take a look at this watch. I need to put some power into it, move the hands out of the way, and have a little fiddle with the bezel. Right, here we go. Right, and here is the watch in all its glory. Let's run through some specifications. So 316L stainless steel case, back, crown, bracelet and clasp. Solid end links, solid links on the bracelet. They are push pins, but actually they weren't too difficult to remove and add back in. Milled inner elements to the clasp and a pressed outer shell for micro adjusts, double pushers and a signature, no safety latch, and yeah, a fully brushed clasp and bracelet. No polished accents at all on the bracelet and clasp anyway, so quite a toolish look to those elements. Female end links, nice fit on the end links. I do like these watches because also they do feel nicely made. Female end links, but yeah, I've always been impressed with their build quality actually. NH35 inside this watch. I'll pop it on the time grapher and show you that now. Now, before I zoom in and show you a close-up of the dial, the hands, and the steel finishing, let's have a little fiddle with the bezel. Here we go. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, that's a shame. Feels quite stiff. The resistance is quite high. The grip isn't fantastic because the outside of this bezel is, well, it's not brushed. It's a sort of polished finish. And that always rounds off, well, basically the grippiness. And yeah, there's just not a huge amount of area to grip onto. And as you can hear, the clicks don't feel fantastic. What about the alignment? One more, I think. A little bit of back play just to put it into its correct position. But the alignment is good anyway. Yeah, let me get the watch a little bit closer to the microphone so you can have a listen to this bezel action. It's a sort of double click, isn't it? Actually, when I move it more slowly, it actually sounds and feels a lot better. It's just when you move it quickly, the clicks tend to sort of blend into one, and it sounds a bit, I don't know how good that's going to sound through the microphone. But anyway, let's move on. Right, I've zoomed in so we can have a closer look at the dial and the hands and those Loom filled applied indices. And BGW9, I'll do a Loom degradation test in a moment. Aquatico automatic diver's watch 300M printed on the dial. Date complication at the 3. And yeah, they've tried to meet, this isn't an ISO 6425 certified diver. But they've met one of the stipulations, which is to have a Loom pip at the 3 o'clock, even if you've got a date window there, look. So that will be why they have added that small Loom pip at the 3. And yeah, fairly well balanced dial, isn't it? I do like white dials. What is it at the moment? I'm going through a phase. Yeah, nice shape to those applied indices. Huge index at the 12. Look at that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the loom and ceramic bezel insert. I'm not sure if it's fully loomed. I think it is. We'll have a look in a moment. And yeah, nice shape to the hands. Decent length to them. Nice splash of colour on the seconds hand as well. Matches fairly well with that Diver's Watch 300M above the 6. I think it's a slightly different colour red, but still nice to have a splash of alternative colour on the hands and the dial, and those hands are again quite toolish, fully brushed, aren't they? There's no high polished accents on those hands. The brushing is quite coarse and yeah, I like it. Right, let's have a look at the steel finishing. The brushing seems nice enough. The polishing is okay. There's only polished surfaces on the side of the case, I think. I'm not seeing, well, and around the bezel look, and any on the case back, I don't think, so I'll show you the case back in a moment. Yeah, it is predominantly brushed, isn't it? A little bit of polishing on the side and a sort of polished bezel, but yeah, let's have a look at the case back. And there is the case back, and I'm holding the watch this way up because I want to show you the serial number. These watches are limited, 169 of 500, this one. Says limited edition on there. Sapphire crystal, of course, I've forgotten to mention. Sapphire crystal. It is a piece of double domed sapphire crystal. A little bit of domage on it. Very subtle, but it's there. And blue AR coating as well. I'll take some shots outside in a moment. Let's finish up with the case back. Yeah, you've got a diver's helmet, fairly lightly engraved on the case back. It is fully brushed apart from that sort of matte bead blasted finish around the helmet. Here it is on my roughly average sized wrist. I'll put the dimensions and the weight just down there. It doesn't feel too heavy, actually. Sometimes 300 meter divers can feel quite heavy. This one doesn't feel too heavy, and there is decent weight distribution all the way around the wrist. That can be just as important as the overall weight, because if you've got a fairly average weighted watch, but all of the weight is in the case, it can feel uncomfortable. It can feel a little bit top heavy and wobbly. But if you've got a sort of average to slightly heavier than average watch like this, but there's weight all the way around the wrist, yeah, it just feels more comfortable, and that's the case with this one. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. Right, it's time to test the strength of the BGW9. I've used a UV torch to give it a quick boost, and I'm going to let the camera record for 5 minutes and see how much it degrades. That will give us some indication as to whether or not it's any good. Right, the 5 minutes are up and the loom is still fairly visible, which is good news. In fact, the loom in the hands seems to be the strongest, which is even better news. So yeah, the loom seems to be pretty good.